This video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you're in need of a website, domain, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Just before the video starts, I need to get this off my chest. I need to address the rumours. Yes, I am growing a mullet. I can't wait to keep you up to date with the mullet progress. Every video, I will of course keep you updated on my increasing power and growth of the party in the back. Hello, welcome to the collection of things which I've been up to in the last week. So this week I've done a bit of juggling of my camera collection, and I picked up this, a Mamiya RZ67, which is a camera which I've never actually shot with. I've been wanting to take some more portraits recently, and I felt a bit limited by the Mamiya 7 since it has a pretty large minimum focus of 1 meter, which means you can't really get that close to your subject. Whereas the RZ has bellows focusing and you can get closer than you'd probably ever want to. So I got it with the standard 110mm lens, and I also picked up a prism finder for it, because I find when you use a waist level finder, you often take portraits from a low angle. You're often shooting a subject from like down and up, and this isn't always the most flattering angle. So getting a prism allows you to hold it up at eye level and kind of shoot as you would normally. However, this prism adds a ridiculous amount of weight. It's not the lightest camera as it is, but the prism weighs an insane amount. So to test the camera out, I shot 2 rolls of portraits of a really great musician called Dijon. I used my portable strobe with an umbrella attached to it and a cover over that, which forms a giant softbox. And we just took a few different photos, some inside where he was staying, and some just kind of walking around, and if we saw anything, going for it. And if you were wondering, I shot all of it on Portrait 400, rated at 320 ISO. So this week I went to quite a few exhibitions which have recently opened. The first of which was Omaha Sketchbook by Gregory Halpern at Huxley Parlour. It's a collection of images made over the course of 15 years, which explores manhood in America, specifically in Omaha. And the images just are really great, and it's really interesting to experience the work as an exhibition, since the book is displayed in a really different way, which perfectly segues to the book. It's constructed to look and feel like a book that Halpern actually made whilst shooting the photos, where he took construction paper which he found and stuck in little contact prints himself and made this kind of DIY book. And Mac has printed this amazing reproduction of it where they've spot laminated every single print that looks like a contact print, and it really does look like they're stuck in. I don't know how well this is going to come across on camera, but it looks real. It looks like proper print stuck down, not printed on the paper. It has a really great layout which is super rhythmic and just really interesting. I think this is definitely the best book which I've bought in a long time, and I'd highly recommend checking it out. The next exhibition that I went to was Damien Hirst at the White Cube, which is an exhibition of these insanely large mandalas which he's made out of pieces of butterfly wings, which is pretty strange. I'm not normally into mandalas. I don't really see the appeal in them. However, there's something quite mesmerizing about when they're this insanely large that they can cover your whole periphery. You can get lost in it, and it was a cool experience. And just the scale of even the framing is impressive. It's a big feat of engineering, I guess. So yeah, if you're into this, I'd highly recommend it. Maybe it's worth just popping by. I also popped into Mark Leckey's show, which just opened at the Tate Britain, which is this installation of a motorway bridge in the gallery. And I have to say, I was a bit disappointed. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, because the promo image is like a real motorway bridge, and I thought they would have constructed this huge, realistic bridge inside of the gallery, which I thought was going to be really cool. However, it's not as perfect as that. You're walking on wooden floor, not concrete, and the bridge isn't like super thick. And anyway, there's lots of video installation which goes along with it, which some of it was quite interesting. And it is a really immersive experience, and if you're into this kind of thing, I'm sure you'd really like it. And I think also it probably has more value if you've never really experienced urban British culture having an insight into that is probably more valuable if it's something that you've never really seen. So recently I've also started 2 new personal projects, both of which are collaborative with my friend Tom. So I thought I'd share with you some of the early stages of images and just some thoughts and directions. So the first project is kind of a response to some writing which Tom's made. It's all about growing up in suburbia. I've just been kind of ingesting poems and music that he's made and then going out and just see how I respond. There's no real set goal. I think this is really nice because it allows you to just be more loose and just take more photos and then kind of consolidate and edit it down later. And it's nice to just kind of get in the swing of making something. So I'd been taking the photos around dusk time because I thought there'd be an interesting different light which I don't normally shoot in. And then I realised something which I thought was maybe worth sharing when I took this long exposure of I guess a nightscape type thing. I've mentioned before that my Mamiya 7 has a Pro Mist filter on the lens, which is basically like a scratched up diffused piece of glass which gives a soft glow to the highlights. And I hadn't really utilised it that much until this point where I realised this nighttime photo with streetlights in, the kind of light that was emitted from the streetlights was more pleasing than normal. I thought they had this really nice kind of just glow. So I decided to do some side-by-side comparisons and take another photo with and without the filter just to see how much it does. So I think this works really well. I think it's pretty interesting. Maybe if you're into taking nighttime photos, the Pro Mist filter is something you should check out. The second series of photos which I'm working on is about English folklore. And as I said, again, I'm working with Tom and we're going back and forth with writing and photos. And so I've made 2 images for the edit so far, which I'm pretty happy with. The first one is of the hollow tree, which I've featured before, just in a different season and a different kind of style of photograph, which I think came out really well. I took this on 8x10 with my giant flash. And then the second one utilised the Pro Mist filter again. I was trying to recreate a photo of the Will of the Wisp, which is glowing thing, ghost, who knows, that kind of spawns in swampy areas. Initially I was planning on doing some long exposures and kind of light painting or using candles or something to try and recreate a glow. And what I ended up doing was using my wireless flash trigger to shoot directly into the flash and then utilise the soft glow of the Pro Mist filter that would kind of diffuse it into this just kind of ethereal blob of light. And I have to say, it kind of worked perfectly. I think this sums up what I was trying to photograph pretty much exactly how it was in my head. So yeah, that's my new projects. They're loose, they should be fun, and I'm probably going to keep you updated as I continue to shoot them. So finally, I'd like to thank Squarespace again for sponsoring this video. If you're looking to build a website of any kind, whether you just need to buy a domain, you want to start a blog, or maybe you want a portfolio of your photography, which is definitely something that I'd suggest doing. You can do all of this with Squarespace. It's never been easier to build a professional looking website, and you don't need any prior experience because it's just so simple to use. And what's great is you can get 10% off if you use the code negativefeedback when you sign up. So what's your excuse? Go and get yourself a lovely new website today. So yeah, thank you to them. Thank you to you if you've made it this far into the video. New stuff soon.